Hey, hey, it's going great. Um, yes. You don't have a Mac? You don't have a Mac?
You on the phone?
I'm live. No Mac?
Okay.
Um,
How you been?
how you get on? On a Mac. You can go to the gray silver rogue over there.
Great Silver.
Rogue
It's a mat in there.
in the back. I'll get started. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. I was ready to see Sister Ashley on with us this morning. Good morning, Sister Al. So let's get the show started. All right, all right. Just seeing if y'all can hear me. I think so. Okay. All right. So this is our last one for the summer, last session for the summer. Um, it's been a wonderful summer. Been out here mostly at Von King Park, I think, except for one Saturday where it rained and couldn't be out here. So outside of that, it's just been beautiful. Be out here stretching and breathing. Um, in community most of the time. And whether or not it was virtual or not. So I've enjoyed it. Hopefully, those who've been with me on this experience have enjoyed it as well. And as I take a break for a few weeks, as I transition into coaching a sport, my favorite sport, um, and working with students and children again and young men. Um, I'll be incorporating a lot of what we do into some of our practices and some of our warm ups. We'll get an extra boost based on the work that we do out here. And we're going to be working on some mindfulness with these young men as well, looking to things like, visualizations, being present with themselves, being present in whatever space they find themselves, being able to navigate and move through those spaces in a way that speaks to who they are as the individuals that they are. And again, just looking to help them grow and develop and come to a greater understanding of who they are as human beings. And so for me, coaching is never just about the sport, it's about life. And so I move from that perspective and with that intention of everything I do. So I'm going to be looking forward to that, but it's going to force us to take a little break from what we normally do here. And I may be making a request or maybe get some subscribers, and then I can just kind of do some other things with you too. So if you are on any of my list, So so that's what that's it as far as what I'll be doing over the next couple of weeks. And again, we're gonna see how we can keep this going in some capacity while I'm done. And if not, we'll just kind of restart in the fall and, and go from there. But this is something I am committed to helping to help our people with, with health, wellness, and this is part of my contribution to that space. We have other contributions that are launching or have launched, and so it's just what we do at this point. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. We'll do something. Something a little different today with our shoulder work. It's really simple. So this is really great for anyone who's having some rotator cuff issues. It's just a very gentle movement. And all we're doing is basically just flipping our thumb. So we're kind of leading with the thumb. So we're flipping our thumb down and across as far as we can. And then we're going to open it back up. And again, have it come back down as far as we can. So in doing this, we're kind of engaging that shoulder, those shoulder muscles, and just stretching it out a little bit before we begin our work. So just take your time with this. Again, it's not a lot of movement, but it's very effective if you're having cuff issues. And then you can vary the height. If this is comfortable, then again, you can do it from up here. If that's too intense, again, you can do it from down here as well. So wherever you can do it is fine. So the next thing we'll do, we'll drop that down, and then we'll go into shoulder shrugs. So for the shoulder shrugs, we'll just lift up and release to the back, lift up and release to the back, lift up and release to the back. And we'll just switch that. We're gonna lift up and release forward, lift up and release forward, lift up, release forward, lift up and release forward. I find shoulder shrugs to be really gentle and peaceful and effective, and they just feel good. All right, so lift up, go backwards again, lift up, release back, lift up and release back. All right, so for our breathing today, we're going to continue on with our Shu breath. So Shu is a kinetic principle of air. So that's what we're doing. We're taking in that deep inhales through the abdomen first, up into the chest and up through the throat. So deep inhale in, hold it, and then we're going to release with Shu. So throughout our practice, we're going to be shooing it in, shooing it out. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. So we'll start off, we're going to raise our hands up to the air on our inhale. Shoot it out on the exhale. Inhale, raise it up. Shoot it out on our exhale. Inhale, raise up. Shoot it out on our exhale. Last round, inhale up. Shoot it out on our exhale. Inhale up again. This time we're going to fold over, bend in the knees, and fold and exhale. So we're going to stay down, keep the knees bent slightly. Want to be able to touch the ground. And then we're going to begin to come up halfway. So hands on the shin, on the knees, look forward, and take an inhale in. And then we're gonna release on our exhale. We're gonna inhale up again. Exhale back down. Inhale up and exhale down. Now we're gonna open up our feet. If you're on a mat, kind of go mat width distance apart. If you're not on a mat, just go a little bit wider than hip distance. We're gonna turn our toes out on an angle. And we're gonna begin to slowly just bend at the knee. So we're slowly dropping our hips down. We're heading to a squat. We're heading to a squat, but we're taking our time getting there. So we're just gonna do a couple of these just to kind of like loosen the hips up a little bit, loosen the knees up a little bit before we take it down to the squat. So when you are comfortable and when you feel ready, you're gonna take it down towards that squat position. So in the squat position, we have our elbows inside of our knees. Elbows are inside of our knees. Our feet are flat to the ground, right? If you can. And again, if you need to open up the feet so that can happen, just take a wider stance. If they keep coming up, rock with it that way. Eventually, you want to get to the point where the feet are on the ground. And again, if you gotta open up wider, that's okay. All right. So taking a deep breath in, shooing it out. Deep inhale in and shoo it out. So again, you're using the elbows to kind of push the knees out a little bit wider, and you're gonna sit those hips down. And you want to make sure that chest is up, so you're not bent over. Right? You want to lift the chest up, looking straight ahead. Let's take one more round of breath. Deep inhale in and release it. From here, we're gonna put our hands down on the ground, and we're just gonna come down on all fours. So knees over hips, wrist over shoulders. All right, two right angles. Okay. So first thing, let's just go into a little child's pose. Open up again, kind of open up the lower back, open up those hips a little bit. So we're gonna sit back towards our child's pose. Stretch the hands out in front of us. Head may come down to the ground. Taking a deep inhale in and releasing it. Deep inhale in and release it. One more round. Deep inhale in and release. So from here, we're gonna move into raise the hips back up. So the hips over the knees again. Still keeping the hands on the ground. So we're gonna move into more of a middle back. So it's called puppy pose. So we're gonna drop. So hips are up again. We're gonna just drop our chest towards the ground. And walk forward. So keeping the hips up, chest towards the ground, chin towards the ground, and kind of looking ahead. So it's a little challenging to look ahead. You know, not really want to just look down. So you want to look ahead because you want to kind of curve that back. So you're loosening up the middle back with the puppy pose. Taking a deep breath in and releasing it. So staying low, staying down. We'll do one more deep breath in and release. All right, from that position, we're going to slide forward onto the ground. We're going to extend our legs in back of us, nice and straight. Maybe bring them together. Forearms are on the ground. Elbows are beneath our shoulders. We're gonna lift up. Chest is pointing forward. And we're in our Sphinx. So you wanna extend the arms up so that your elbows are, right, there you go. And looking ahead, taking a deep inhale in. Releasing it on an exhale. Deep inhale in. And shoo it out. All right. So last little movement, we're gonna come back up into all fours. Walk the knees up. Do a little cat cow. So on our cow, we're gonna tuck the toes. We're gonna drop the chest down. We're gonna lift the hips up in the back. We're gonna raise our eyes up to the ceiling or to the sky. On our exhale, we're gonna drop the hips. We're gonna drop the head. We're gonna arch that back up, straighten our arms out, and look in between our legs. Take 2 more rounds. So we're going back into our cow. Nice and slow, nice and gentle. Tucking the toes. Chest forward, hips up, head up. And releasing into our cat. So dropping the hips down. Dropping the hips up. Looking in between the legs, dropping the head down, arching that back up as much as possible. And cow one more time. So with the cow, bending the arms a little bit, looking up to the ceiling or the sky. And then back to cat. So cat, again, we're gonna drop the head down. We're gonna arch the back up and look in between. All right, so from here, we're gonna transition into our easy seat. So sitting on the ground, cross-legged. Whichever leg is comfortable, can be up. You can play around with intentionally switching at different points in the practice. So we're just gonna begin our side opening. So we're gonna raise our hands up. On the inhale, on the exhale, we're just gonna bend over to our left side, left hand on the ground to support. And when we look, we're looking up at underneath our right elbow. All right, so taking a deep inhale in and exhaling. Deep inhale in and exhale. On the next inhale, raise both hands up into the sky. Let's drop the right hand down. And that's going to exhale over to the right side, looking underneath the arm towards the left elbow. As we exhale, inhaling in and exhaling. On the next inhale, we're going to raise both hands up. We're going to turn towards the right side. So left hand is going to come over to the right knee. And we're going to rotate over to the right. So the first thing is rotating is the torso is rotating over to the right side. And then as we continue twisting, we're going to turn our head over towards that right shoulder and look over our right shoulder. But we want the majority of the twist to come from the thoracic. Right? So we want to get that twist from on the spine. We want to make sure we're up straight, so we're not leaning backwards. We're nice and straight. And we're twisting over that right shoulder. All right, so we're gonna take a deep inhale in. And gonna lift that right hand up and bring it over to the left knee. All right, so reset on our exhale. And then we're gonna take a deep inhale in. We're gonna fold over ourselves on our exhale. One more deep inhale in and continue to fold over. And we're going to slowly release that. Lift the left hand up and to the back. So this time now we're going to twist over to the left side. We're going to keep that left hand close to us so it can support us and keep our back straight up. We're going to slowly begin to twist our spine over to the left. And when we kind of get to that stick point, then we can turn our neck over towards that left shoulder and look over the left shoulder. But we don't want it to be a neck stretch. Okay, so that's why we focus mainly on getting that spine and that upper body over to the left first. Then finally, we're looking over that left shoulder. So taking a deep inhale in and releasing it. Deep inhale in and release it. One more time, deep inhale in and release it. On our next inhale, we're going to lift that left hand up and bring it over towards the right knee. Grab a nice hold of that right knee. Take a deep inhale in. And exhale, fold over ourselves again. As we're folding, look forward, don't look down, look forward. So kind of keeping that integrity of the neck to the spine. We don't want it to be this. We want to kind of look forward. Taking another deep inhale in and release down a little bit more. Now we're going to release both hands up. We're going to now take the left leg and open it out to the side on an angle. All right. So outside of the right, there you go. So the right foot is inside of the right left thigh. Point your toes back towards you. Rotate your torso so that it's over the left leg. And take a deep inhale in and slowly slide your hands down that left leg on our exhale. Take a deep inhale in and release it. Deep inhale in and release even more. Slowly slide those hands back up that left leg. And we're just going to gently switch sides. So we're going to bend that left knee back inside. Going to extend that right leg out to the side. Bring that left foot inside of the right thigh. Point the right toes back towards you. Shift that torso over that right leg. Brace yourself with your hands. Take a deep inhale in. And on our exhale, slowly slide down that right leg. Take another deep inhale in. Slide it down some more. Deep inhale in. Slide it down one more time. Slowly walk those hands back up that right leg. And we're going to extend the left leg out. So now we're going to create a V with the leg. So that left leg is going to come out. Create a nice comfortable V. All right. So we're just going to get a little mobility going with the sides a little bit before we continue with the deeper stretches. So what we're going to do is just take the right hand and reach it over across to the left leg. The left hand is going to come towards the back and it's going to hit the ground and support us on the left, right? And then as soon as we get there, we're going to rotate. We're going to bring the left hand over to the right leg. Bring that right hand in back of you to support you as you stretch forward. As we stretch forward, we're going to come back up and just continue that motion. And as soon as you get there, you're going to come back. So this is more of a, we're doing a little bit more movement now, just to kind of like, again, get the sides going before we really truly stretch them even a little bit deeper. Keep your breathing going. Deep inhale in and exhale. Deep inhale in and exhale. Deep inhale in and exhale. A few more rounds. Deep inhale in and exhale. Last round. Each side. Ready. So, toes pointed at you again. Rotate over to the left side. So again, you're over that left leg. We're gonna slide down. So we're moving more. So we're kind of making a progression. We were hip heavy before. Second one was hip heavy again. This one is hamstring heavy. So we're looking over, looking at those toes as we come down. Again, we're not looking down at the ground. We're not, we don't want to curve our spine like this. Okay, we're gonna come keep our head up, keep our spine up, keep the spine straight. And taking a deep inhale in and releasing. Deep inhale in and releasing. One more round. Deep inhale in and release. Slowly walk ourselves back up. From here, we're going to take a deep inhale in. And this time, we're going to release right down the middle. Again, use your hands as support to help guide you and help, help your back out so that all the pressure is not on your back as you're sliding forward. Okay. Deep inhale in and release. Slowly slide your hands back up. Now we're going over the right leg. So we're going to rotate over to the right side, framing the right leg with our hands. And we're going to slowly walk our way down on our exhale. So deep inhale in and exhale it out. Deep inhale in and exhale it out. One more round. Deep inhale in and exhale it out. Slowly walk our hands, weight ourselves back up towards our seat position. All right, we're gonna transition from here. So we're gonna go back into all fours. So we're gonna make our way back there any way we want to, any way we can. So just transition back to all fours. All right. So from here, we're gonna bring that left foot forward. And we're gonna bring it forward so that we have about a 60-degree angle from our heel towards our knee. So our knee is in back of our heel by about 60 degrees. So we're leaning back on that knee. So the knee is back. So again, if you got to move your feet up, that's fine. If you got to move the right knee back, that's fine as well. But you don't want the knee over the foot yet, over the ankle yet. All right, we're gonna move into that position, so we have to start with it in back of it. All right, so slowly we're gonna begin to walk our hands forward and bring that knee forward, and the knee should end up right over the ankle. If the knee moves past the ankle, move that ankle forward. All right. And now what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring that right thigh towards the ground. So you're leaning forward onto that right thigh. The right thigh is leaning forward. So from the hip, that right hip is trying to hit the ground. Left knee is right over the left ankle. So if this is comfortable and this is good, we can stay here. If we want to go a little bit deeper, we can put our left hand on our left knee and then have our right hand join us on that knee. And then we can press into the knee as we drop that right hip a little bit further down. And if this feels really, really good, then we can lift up and then arch the back again, nice and slowly and gently, and give ourselves a little bit of a back bend as we look up towards the sky. And we're going to reverse that back up here. Then we're going to bring it back down to the knees, and from the knee back down to the ground. Then from there, we're going to begin to floss out the hip joint a little bit. So we're going to extend the knee towards the back and bring it back up. Extend the knee towards the back. As you extend the knee to the back, the toes come off the ground and then back up. Take it back again and forward, back and forward. And the next time we go back, we're going to stay there. So we're going to go back. And again, trying to extend the knee, trying to straighten the leg to wherever it's comfortable. All right? So we're not overstretching, we're just keeping it nice and comfortable. If we're starting, that right hip could stay up. If you've been doing this for a while, that right hip can come down. Okay. But the right hip up and leg straight is just as effective. Okay, it doesn't have to come down. All right. Take a deep inhale in on this. And exhale. And now let's rebend that left knee, bring it back forward. Nice and slowly and gently. We're gonna bring that left hand inside of the left knee. Keep it attached to that left knee. All right. From here, we're gonna walk our hands forward a little bit to wherever feels comfortable. And what we're doing is kind of bringing down, opening up our hips a little bit. All right. So you're gonna bring it forward, keep walking it, keep walking it. Now you may get to a point where you feel comfortable dropping the right elbow. Maybe not. And if the right elbow drops, maybe the left elbow wants to follow, and maybe not. And maybe if that left elbow is down, that left leg, that left foot wants to go up on the edge and open up and give you more space for that elbow to come down, or maybe not. Okay. All of these are just optional parts of this practice of this particular stretch. None of it is mandatory. Nothing here is mandatory. All we're doing is just exploring what the body can do, adding some extra oxygen into it, adding a couple of extra inches of stretch to it, decreasing our stress levels, increasing feel good hormones. So we're gonna slowly come up, and we're gonna just return. Well, let's do this. Let's before we fully return, let's take that left leg and take it out to the side. And we're gonna slowly come up. Right. Okay, got you. All right. So if you have any kind of injury on that right side, you can just skip this for today. So just stay in your all fours position for now. Right. All right. And then for those of us who can do this, all we're doing is just a little side stretch. So if you're in all fours, you can go into what we call hero's pose and sit back a little bit, just like perfectly like where you are right now. You're just gonna raise the hands up and we're just gonna stretch over to the left side. So just a little quick side bend, just to again extend that right side body a little bit. And then we're gonna look over that right elbow, open our chest up to the sky, and then we're gonna release it. So from there, we're gonna go back into our all fours and just switch sides and go back with the foot towards the front again. So the right foot comes forward. And again, first thing we do is just make sure our alignment is right. So heel in front of the elbow. I mean, heel in front of the knee. All right. So we got about a 60-degree angle going on here as we drop our hands down. Again, we can move that heel up to kind of maintain it before we start the stretch. All right. So when we start the stretch, again, we're opening up and bringing that left thigh towards the ground. That's the whole point of what we're doing. Stretching up stretching those quads out. And we want to make sure that that right knee is over the ankle. We don't want it forward of the ankle, right on top of the ankle is perfect. All right. And that left quad is stretching down. All right. So taking a deep inhale in and releasing it. Deep inhale in and releasing it. Continue that breathing motion on your own. Deep breath in and release. All right, from there, I'm gonna slowly begin to open up and rock those hips back and forth. So we're gonna straighten that knee, bring the toes up off the ground, and then bend it back again. So we're gonna straighten it, bend it back again, straighten it, bend it back again. And this time, as we straighten it, we're gonna stay there, and those hamstrings extend. So again, we can keep that left hip up, which is fine. We can drop it down a little bit for a deeper stretch. So keep that breathing going. Deep inhale in. Release it on the shoe. Deep inhale in. And shoe it out. All right, let's go ahead and rebend it. I'm going to bring that right hand inside of the right knee. Keep it attached. Walk the hands up forward. And as you walk it forward, you should feel yourself beginning to drip, to to drop down, to drop. Hey, how you doing? So we're in the middle of the session, so you can feel free to join, or we can chat when we're done. All right, so we are coming down, so that the right elbow, I mean the left elbow may come down first, then the right elbow may come down, the right edge of the foot may come up. And we're just trying to get down towards the ground a little bit. Take a deep inhale in and release it. Deep inhale in and release. Slowly walk ourselves back up. Just gonna reverse everything. And this time we're gonna take that right leg and take it out to the side. Gonna walk ourselves up, lift that left hand up. And just gonna bend over to the right side, looking at the left elbow, keeping that chest open. And then we're gonna release that. Come back down into all fours and go back into our seat. So from here, we're gonna just begin to slowly close out. We got a few more stretches to do. So we're gonna slowly, gently, on a count of 10, release down to the ground. So we got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.5, 1, and 0. Bring the knees up and hug them in. So this is real simple, but what we want to do is we want to anchor the lower back down to the ground as we hug the knees in. So they want to lift up. We want to anchor them back down and bring the knees in. Then from there, we're going to release our hands out to the side. And we're just going to drop the knees over to the left side, keeping our back on the ground. And when they hit the ground, we're going to lift the knees up using our abs and bring them over to the right side. And if they hit, we're going to lift them up again and bring them back over to the left. And if they hit, gonna pick them up and bring them back over to the right. And one more round, we're gonna pick them up. And this time when they hit the left side, we're gonna leave them there. We're gonna bring our left hand over to that right, to the top of that right knee, and just help left hand, right, and just help guide that knee closer to the left knee. You're fine. No, you're fine. Right? And now we're gonna just turn our heads and look over to the right, or just look up in the ceiling or the sky. So we're looking away from the knees, making sure our backs are flat on the ground. Taking a deep inhale in and releasing on the shoes. Deep inhale in and release on the shoe. After that, we're going to release the hand. We're going to bring the knees back up again. And this time we're going to drop them over to the right side. Once they get there, again, we're going to take the right hand, bring it over that left knee. Bring the left knee down towards the right knee. Get a slightly deeper stretch going. Take a deep inhale, and we're gonna look over to the left side, away from the knees. Take a deep inhale in. Release it with a shoe. Deep inhale in. Release it with a shoe. Slowly release that right hand. Bring the knees back vertical. Walk your legs, your feet in towards your hips. See if you can touch the back of your heels with your fingers. Or be as close as possible. Just do just do a quick hip raise. We're just gonna we've been doing a lot of back bends and stuff like that. Let's just strengthen the hips for a second. So you're gonna raise the hips up, lifting from the bottom, from the waist comes off the ground, lower back comes off the ground, hips come off the ground, middle back off the ground. So the only thing touching the ground is the shoulders and the feet. Keep them up, keep them up, keep them up for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release, slowly, 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 going backwards, upper back first, then middle back, lower back, then waist, hips. All right. Let's just do a quick. From here, we're gonna just lift our legs up into the air. Engage your core as you're doing this just for a quick 3 more seconds. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then from here, we're gonna take 10 seconds to lower our legs like down to the ground, engaging the core again. So again, you wanna get that feeling of having your lower back anchored down towards the ground. So as we come down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 2. I forgot what's next. 2, and then 1 down to the ground. And release it and let it go. Shake it off, So let the feet lay out to the side, palms up towards the sky if you want to receive, palms down if you want to just contain. And just take some, we're going to end off with some breathing down here. And we're going to do, our breathing is going to transition to humming. So we're going to hum. So you're going to take a deep breath in, and you're going to give yourself some loving hums to end your practice. This practice of paying attention to your body, having a conversation with your body, loving on your body, loving on your physical, connecting your mental, your spiritual, and physical all together through your breathing practice. And you're going to thank yourself for that experience with the power of your hum. So taking a deep inhale in, hum it out. Deep breath in, hum it out. Deep breath in and hum it out. Take a few more rounds on your own. All right, slowly gonna come back to ourselves, slowly moving our fingers back and forth, clutching them, toes, ankles, wrists. Bring the knees back up. Roll over to your favorite side. Take a second to relax there. And then come up slowly. Back into our easy seat. Take a deep breath in and release it. Deep breath in and release it. Hands into prayer. So again, giving thanks for being able to get up this morning, to be able to come out here and move and breathe. Giving thanks for the community that is here, for the community that's not here, for the communities that we belong to, the communities that we affirm, the communities that we love. Giving thanks for them for the support they give us, um, and all the different ways the support can be had, taken, and received. We give thanks for, again, for life and the breath of life. Give thanks for all those who joined this morning and will join later. And I say thank you and I say, again, this will be our last session for the season. Thank you for those who've been with us, in this travel, this journey. Um, we come back next season, we'll have some new and different things, and some things that will stay the same and remain. So there's always going to be growth, and there's always development, and we keep moving towards higher and higher levels in our path. So thank you again for joining me this morning, um, and blessings to your day. Ashe.